Okay, she is here. Lorna Gayle has finally arrived in all of her splendor and red because apparently she's going to a party later on.
Not quite a party. We can't party anymore, Barrie, okay?
Well, I know you will find a way to do it. You'll find a way to do it. I know you will. How have you been?
I've been very well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, as you know, guys, it is Black History Month, so I thought I would bring some prominent, inspirational people within our community to come and tell us their inspirational story. And as I always say, inspire us to do the best we can and a little better. So thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How have you been?
I've been good.
You're a busy girl now, aren't you?
I've been quite busy, yeah. We've had, we've been running the school, been doing a few acting.
Now, we'll get to the school later because that is a high point as far as I'm concerned. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
And definitely sending the message to give something back to the community and the legacy that you're going to leave for the future generations. I think it's quite special.
Thank you. Sorry about this. Hold on, Mr.
And you've got so many great people involved. Martina Laird, Angela Marr. Yes. They've all come to just say, yes, we're going to do this with you.
Yes. We've got the great Carol Thompson, Lovers What We
Yes, I mean, amazing.
Yeah, some really great people has come on board, you know?
Right. Well, as I said, we're going to get to that later.
Sure.
But I want to hear about your journey. Where did you start for you? The whole acting thing, because I was reading your bio, because we have to do our research,
of course.
We can't just drag people in. And it was saying that you went to, which acting school was it?
I went to Webber Douglas.
Right. But you didn't graduate in acting until you were 40.
That's right, yeah.
And I mean, well, that's inspiration in itself, because even with what's happening with COVID and a lot of people losing their jobs, they're telling people to retrain. And people are up in arms about it. But when you see a story like that, you realize, well, actually, you can retrain.
Of course, you can retrain and do anything that is your chosen field, you can retrain at any time.
Yeah.
As long as you've got the fire in your belly, you can go out there and you can do it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so what started for you? What were your jobs beforehand and et cetera, that it left you then to that late to decide, this is my path, I want to be an actress?
Barrie, I've had many jobs. I've had
sure.
all kinds of jobs, from chambermaiding to working at Pizza Land to, all kinds of jobs, printing. And so, but my overall thing that I was doing was music. And so I was doing, I was lucky to be in the music industry since the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And I think that was, it was my forte. That was my way on stage. That was my way to express myself. And it took me all over the world, really,
Right, because I was surprised to see that your journey started, I saw you with a microphone. Mm-hmm. And I know I've seen little clips of you doing stuff, but I didn't know you were actually a singer.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Wow. Cool.
So the singing came obviously before the training.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the singing started from the sound systems. I was on the sound systems from way back.
Which sound system did you follow?
Well, I followed Coxon.
Oh, okay. South London sound.
I'm a South London, innit?
Really?
Born and bred in Brixton.
I didn't know that. I'm a
Brixtonian through and through.
Okay.
And I followed Coxon. I followed Smollax. I even followed Saxon. I even chatted on their sound for a little bit, but there were.
I have to.
Wait. My main sound was Nasty Rockers. I have to let people know that it was the original Nasty Rockers sound.
Oh, really?
I mean, that kind of propelled me.
Because
everything that I'm doing now, Barrie,
started from
the sound system, bro.
Right.
It started from expressing yourself, writing poetry, and getting your.
Because it was all about the lyrics. It was all about writing the lyrics like poetry.
Yeah.
And as you say, it's in some ways it's brilliant. In some ways it's sad that so much came from that. But the parents' generation didn't really appreciate that as something that could be a career.
No, not
so they didn't really encourage you to dance or sing or act.
No.
And now when you look at all the programs that are on TV, it's Britain's Got Talent. And you're thinking, well, if these things were around in our generation, we would all have been stars because we had that star quality, but there was nowhere to let it out and to appreciate it. And to let it out, you literally had to force it out. You had to kick down the door and say, listen, I can do this. Look at me. You didn't have the help that you have now. So it's great that, you say you came from Saxon, because, I'm a South Londoner originally, and Saxon, Coxon, Shaka, they are all the South London sounds. And the best,
Of course they're the best.
So you were toasting or singing?
Sing Jay. I started off toasting.
Okay.
And then it kind of found a little bit of a style because I had a little kind of a little thing going on there. and it kind of formed itself into Sing Jay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So DJ, Sing Jay, whatever you want to call it, to me it's just a form of expression. I never really called myself a singer or anything like this.
Yeah, you just
like my
went out and did what you felt comfortable with, and
just done my flow.
Were fortunate that people appreciated it and saw the talent.
Yes.
So you had many jobs.
Yes.
From chambermaid to, what did you say, Pizza Hut?
Making pizzas, making burgers. I did the shopkeeper. I did everything that you could think of.
Well, you can't say that you're not experienced, because when you've been through all of that, you have to listen to someone like you.
Absolutely.
Because, I've been there, seen it and done it.
Yeah. My favorite job was always teaching. I was always working with some kind of youth center.
Right.
Yeah, some youth center.
Which all seem to have disappeared in our generation, because there was always a youth center for us to gather, and we weren't even troublesome children, you know what I mean? We just wanted to gather and play table tennis, and we would go down there with our records and play, and that's where we were honing our talents, I guess.
The youth clubs are long gone now.
Long gone.
That's a shame.
So that's why a lot of what's going on in the younger community is happening, because there's no supervision.
Yes. And if you notice, when we had the youth clubs, we had youth leaders.
Absolutely. And the people that you looked up to.
Yeah, these were the people that will sit you down and say, listen, let me speak to you.
You can't do that.
Exactly.
Yes. You need to conduct yourself in a different way.
Yes, absolutely. And those are the people that you could turn to, you could talk to. If you weren't talking to your parents, if your father wasn't there or your mother wasn't there, you could go and talk to these youth leaders.
Yeah.
And they
it's funny because you just mixed with everybody. Fortunately, I was one that I didn't have to talk to anybody else. I just had to look in my mother's face and that said it all. You know what I mean? But you could see that there were those children that didn't have that, and they needed it, and it was good. It helped the parents. They had somebody outside of the family to talk to and give them guidance.
Absolutely.
And if they couldn't go to their parents or family or whatever, but our generation was, there's so many people you had to answer to: your mother, your father, your older brother, your older cousins, your aunt. You just think, you know what, it's not worth me doing any foolishness. Let me just stay on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, well, that's very good of you, Barrie. Let's give him a round of applause. Because I had all of that, but I didn't necessarily.
Do I need to put the mic down now and put her on mute?
Listen, okay, let's keep it. Let's keep it.
We want to hear about you.
Let's keep it nice.
So you weren't always the nice, pristine little lady that we see you are now.
I was such an angel when I was younger.
You can hear this falsehood in that voice.
I was always following mother's rules.
Yes, of course she was. Now she's suddenly sitting with her hands clasped.
That's how I became an actress, you see.
Absolutely. But we're going to get up to all of this. So when did you decide, you know what, I want to study and be an actress?
When did I decide? I'd as I said, I was a musician for many years, and I was able to tour the world with Mad Professor and a lot of other,
Okay, you were with Mad Professor.
Yes,
You see, that's not in your biog.
It is, but you didn't see that.
I didn't see it. Okay.
And then I went to live in America for a while, and when I came back from America, and I decided that there was something I wanted to do. I wanted to, thanks. I wanted to do something more than what I was doing. I wanted to do something. I wanted to get a career, a real career.
Yeah.
And find myself an agent. And, you know, also my son he's going to start secondary school. I'm saying to myself, and I'm like, he needs to look up to and see, you know, a role model and see his mum really doing something. And that's what all of these things I started thinking about. And I thought, yeah, what can I do? And actually, my sister friend, my sister queen, Kofi, was at my house at the time because we used to do a lot of writing together. And she was going to college. She was doing an engineering course. And she said to me, well, you know, I'm going to Lewisham College. They're doing acting there. You know, you've always loved acting.
Lewisham College, which was like Breakspears Road.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I was there at one stage.
Well, there you
Wickham
go.
Building, which is no more. It's now a block of flats.
I went there, I think, 1998.
Oh, I'd long left by then.
Yeah. I think it was like, it was still late. I was probably about 30 something.
Okay.
And so I went in, I thought, yeah, of course. So I did that. I did a BTEC in Performing Arts for 2 years at Lewisham College.
So which building were you in? Breakspears?
Breakspears building, yeah.
Yeah, which was the newer building, and they had the caterers in there and stuff.
Yes. It was a great 2 years. And they're the ones I had no idea about drama school or you know, that you could go at my age. I had no idea about the whole world of drama school, but they're the ones that really, really pushed me. One teacher in particular, Mark Sell, he really, really pushed me. He said, after this, go up for drama schools.
I didn't even know that they had drama school there. But I had no idea.
Well, it's the Performing Arts course.
Oh,
right. The BTEC in Performing Arts.
That must have been something that was a new addition to their curriculum. Because it definitely wasn't there in my day.
When did you go?
Oh, I can't even say that. That was 19 Saltfish, shall we just say.
Yes.
Now, this is on your Desert Island disc. Dennis Brown, Love Has Found Its Way. Now, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means so much to me because I remember when this came out, I used to see Dennis Brown. He used to, you know, I used to live on Southwell Avenue off Cold Harbour Lane, and he used to stay with Castor Brown on that road, on the end of that road, and so him and Junior Delgado used to be.
Right.
Yeah, and
because this is definitely a Sledgehammer tune at St. Mary's. I don't know if you remember that sound system, Sledgehammer.
No.
Yeah, this is one of their tunes.
This one really, it was a turning point for me when this came out, man. Oh, the love just blossomed.
And it was a turning point with him because it was a completely different sound for Dennis Brown. It wasn't what he was accustomed to do.
Do you remember when you first heard it on the radio? When I first heard it on the radio, I was like, what is this? What?
Yeah, it just sounds so different. Still different. Anyway, let's enjoy it.
I'm so thankful, baby, that Jah has made you.
Black History Month on The Beats London.
The BTM Club Show with Barrie Thomas.
Hello guys, we are back with the diva and her wonderful story. She's so funny. She's just looking at me going, who is he talking about, diva? Because I am no diva. In actual fact, she really isn't. But I love how your acting community support each other. Yes. I think it's wonderful. You know, it's almost like a sisterhood. Maybe it's a women thing, but I'm watching those actresses. You all support each other.
Yes.
And when I had Annie Domingo in,
beautiful.
She said something beautiful. She's like, well, we all go to the casting, and if one of us gets it, we're happy. It doesn't matter which one gets it. So, you know, there's like you, Reki, Iola, Martina, of course, who you're running the academy with, and we'll get to that later. And, you know, I just think, you know, Ellen Thomas. But it's amazing, that support network.
You know, you say that. When I left drama school, when I was leaving drama school, actually, Ellen Thomas and Donna Kroll came to see my showcase.
Right.
They're ladies that I've always seen along the way, and they have always supported me. Go on, girl.
You know, they're what you call doyens.
Let me tell you. And they came to my showcase, and since then, they've come to every single show that I've done. They came when I was doing To Kill a Mockingbird in Salisbury. They was there. When I did... when I was playing Tituba with the Royal Shakespeare Company, they came up to Stratford upon Avon. I mean, they came every every show that I've done, and they've just always been there. Ellen Thomas has also
and that's what it's about, surely.
Yes.
And I don't think some people get it.
Yeah.
Some people don't get it. They're still in that competitive mode, and you can even see it on social media. That thing of, well, it's not about me, so I'm not interested. And it's so refreshing when you look at you guys and how you do things, and it's like, well, regardless what's happening, they're cocooning each other.
Yes.
That support network
It's so
is there.
important. It's so important, you know, and there's enough of us to kind of
This
make
is
that
it.
impact. We've just started a beautiful organisation called Insistars, and that's started actually it's the brainchild of Sharon Duncan Brewster, and then, you know, together with Annie Domingo and with Martina and with Suzette Llewellyn and Reiki Ayola, all of us, we're all together just really pinning things down together and seeing how we can all support each other in this business.
Yeah, and in the process, you're creating something for a generation to come.
Exactly. Well, that's what it's about. It's about the older generation, the ones that came before us and the ones that's coming after us. And it's about really kind of amalgamating all of that together.
Yeah.
So that's actually what's the ethos of this organisation. So I'm excited, man.
I can see it.
Why, you know, there's enough for everybody. There is absolutely enough for everybody.
But you know what? This is the thing. There is enough for everybody, but people have to understand that, and they have to get into that mindset and mentality that, you know what, because you get something, it doesn't mean there isn't enough for me.
That's right.
And because I get it doesn't mean there isn't enough for you. There is enough for everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell me about you going into your acting, my dear. This is what I want to get to. What made you make the decision to go and study? How did you choose your institution of study? What made you make your choice?
Well, I was advised
It's
to go
Sunday
for...
on the Beat London.
Now you ain't gonna ask me no question and ask you to, and then you're gonna play these kinds of
yes,
tunes
but
here,
baby,
right?
we have enough time, darling. We have enough time. Okay, so
This tune, yeah. Okay. Because I'd rather, anyway, yeah. So
I got the 7-minute version, so we can talk and then we can get a bit of the tune in at the end. Can you see I'm explaining myself here?
Anyway, yeah. So basically, you know, when I was at college, I was encouraged to go for drama school, and they told me more about the schools that are out there. So, you know, my tutor at the time said to me, go for as many as you can. So I applied for RADA, for Rose Bruford, which I got into, but they wanted me to do
and I think Annie was at Rose Bruford
I think
at some
she
stage.
was, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember her saying that in the interview.
Yeah, they wanted me just to do the 1 year course, which I wanted to do 3 years. I hadn't been to school for many years, and I knew that if I was going to college, I wanted to do 3 years to do drama school.
Right.
So, and also I think I went up for Lambda, I went up for Central. But anyway, I got into Webber Douglas, and that was a whole different story, because I got in and then realised that I couldn't get the grant. The grants had finished. The year I applied was the year that the grants decided that they've now got.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I went for a whole rigmarole for did a fundraiser where I had all my Lovers Rock people, Lovers Rock, Louisa Marks, Carol Thompson, Janet Kay, Rita Romero Evans, Winston Reedy, Peter Honeygale, all of them came. We did this massive big gig in Camberwell. It was at this place called Imperial Gardens, and to raise funds for me to go to drama school. It was amazing.
But again, that is another example of the support network that you're talking about, you know? So it's like, even if I just give her a little £5 and £10, whatever I can, to help her get through.
Yes.
That's the support network you're talking about.
Yes. And when my principal, I wrote my principal, I said, look, this is what we did, you know, I've raised this much. My principal said, listen, there's a Dada award, yeah, but it's normally reserved for people who are 30, from 18 years old until 32. That's the age bracket.
Right.
At that time, I was 35.
Right.
36. So he said, but I'm gonna see if you can go up for it. I'm gonna put you
through and see what happens. You've got nothing to lose.
And I auditioned for that. I had a Shakespeare part, which was Titania. These are the forgeries of jealousy. That one. And then I had another part that I wrote in conjunction with a beautiful actress called Doreen Blackstock. We wrote this part called American. It's lovely Jamaican woman, you know. So, and I did that, and they called me back 3 times, and the third time I was 3 times lucky.
Well, they obviously thought, well, yeah, she's a talent that's worth it.
Yes.
Okay, I won't let your whole tune run out. Now, we have Fire and Desire, Rick James, and Tina Marie. What does this mean to you?
Okay.
Since you've been gone.
Listen.
She can't even speak.
All right. The thing about it is, right, you see, when I was pregnant with my son, he's now 33 years old. When I was pregnant with my son, I was doing a radio interview. I think it was with a guy called Patrick Miller. It might have been on Radio London. And I played this track. And this bit, listen to this bit now. Listen.
That's Tina.
Listen, when Tina came in, mate, I had my baby that night.
Stop it.
I had my baby.
You think it was because of Tina? Okay, let's hear Tina and Rick.
It was
Yes, I'm just trying to scrape this lady off the floor. I'm just trying to pull her back together so that we can continue the interview. Okay.
Tina and Rick, man. You see that tune?
Absolutely.
Seriously, it made me my baby come 1 week early.
A week early. Wow. Now, so we graduate.
We graduate, yes, we do. And the first job
Barrie
that
Thomas on a Sunday
I
afternoon.
get is
You're listening to The Beat London on a Sunday.
a play called Stepping Out. Well, which was actually one of the directors in Webber Douglas. Said,
right.
Oh, Lorna, can you tap dance? I was like, why? Yeah, because Jill Freud, they have this thing, summer big playhouse going on every summer they have in Southwold, and they're casting Stepping Out. So can you tap dance? I was like, yeah.
And
I can tap
I know
dance.
somebody ran and found someone to do lessons.
Let me tell you something, right? I put up a sign. First of all, I put up a sign that asking anybody if they had size 7 tap shoes. I was like, me going to learn to tap, and I got my wonderful dance teacher Hugh to show me a few tap moves, and I actually went up for the audition. And let me tell you something. When I went to that audition, all I did, I had these tap shoes on because I got these tap shoes from one of the girls at the school, and they put on some music and just got us to tap, and I literally just started doing my little dance on with them. You understand? But because I had on tap shoes, it sounded like someone was going. That's what I was like, tap, 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 and I would start thrown. And listen, they were in stitches. They were in absolute stitches. And
no, I am trying to picture this. I am trying to picture this woman skanking in tap shoes. The combination sounds ridiculous. Skanking in tap shoes.
Yeah, I was skanking. I'm a twist roll. I'm a drop down, and you know what I mean. And they just was they laughed their head off. And actually, the part that I was going up for, Rose, at first she doesn't know how to tap. So that's what the story's all about. So she doesn't know
brilliant
how to
is
but
that?
Then she has a trainer, and the trainer
Then she becomes Ginger Rogers.
And my darling, she floats along the stage, sweetheart. That end number that we did was unbelievable. I mean, and I learned how to tap out of it. And I got to spend 6 weeks in Southwold, which was absolutely amazing. That was my first job.
First big job.
It was just the most amazing thing ever.
So then how did you go about finding an agent? Somebody to represent your talent?
When I did my showcase, I had 9 agents that were interested in me.
Right.
Not to show off or anything like that. But and I was at my principal, Ralph Jago, advised me to go and see every single one of them and see who I had a good rapport
with, yeah.
And I did. I went to see all. I guess I was unusual at that point, and there was no one in the drama school.
Unusual.
There was no one in the drama school that even looked like me. There was no one my age. Everyone was like 20 years younger than I was.
Yeah,
more or less. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and I saw. One that I went with was Christina Shepherd Management. I really liked. We really got on really well, and we remained my agent for 10 years.
Oh, right.
Until I changed and went to FEMI IAG agencies, and I've been
sometimes you outgrow a situation, you realize it's no point having someone managing you, representing you, if they can't represent you to the full.
Well, it was all great.
It was
potential. Fantastic while it lasted. It was a wonderful 10 years, and I wanted more. Yeah. I just wanted more, and I loved what IAG was doing, what Femi was doing. I saw he was hungry. He was working with a lot of brilliant black actors, and he approached me, and I was like, you know what? Let's do this.
But I looked at your repertoire. It's amazing.
Thank you.
There's so many different characters.
Yes.
But tell me about your time in Tina.
Oh, Tina.
Now, this is Tina Turner, the musical, guys, which is in the West End. And your role was?
Tina Turner's grandmother. Gigi.
Right.
Grandma Gigi from St. Louis. That was... It was an amazing journey. That's all I can say. I mean, going up for the part, it was really hard because I got a recall 7 times.
Okay.
Yeah, and each time that they kept calling me, I was like, what is it they want? What is it they want? And I just tried to be better every time. And I remember the musical director, the MD, Nick, he got me to sing like at one point I thought my throat was gonna bleed. You know,
really?
He was like, yeah, higher and higher, and I was like, what? I've never gone this high before. I've never sang like this before. What the hell? You know, but what they did, they really
drove
pushed me.
Something out of you.
Yeah,
and often
that
that's
I didn't know
thing.
Was there.
People see a quality or a talent in you that you don't necessarily see in yourself.
Absolutely.
And your talent might be at a certain level, but they think if I can get my hands on them, I can pull out more. And I mean, that's been my scenario many times in life. People have seen things in me that I haven't necessarily seen myself, and they thought, you know what, you should be doing this. Come here. Yes. And they draw it out of you. So, you're great to be able to have that connection with people who see it in you and can pull it out.
Absolutely, and it enabled me to get that range, what I mean, that range with the voice, and also, when you're doing that, we did 8 shows a week.
Wow.
8 shows a week.
A matinees one, isn't it?
Yeah, we did 2 matinees on Thursdays and 2 on Saturdays, and then every day of the week. The only day we had off was Sunday.
Yeah.
So it was really about, building up and preparing yourself and for them to realize, to know whether you were
the right choice.
And exactly. So yeah, it was tough going, but you know something? It was a family, and it was such a joy to do. And the lead.
How long were you in it?
I was in there. I was doing it for 8. I was altogether. It was 16 months.
16 months. Wow.
Yeah. Altogether, from rehearsal to the stage show. I opted out doing it for the following year. I did it for a year on the West End stage.
Right.
And I opted out of doing it. I just wanted to do other things. When you've done it, I've done it. It's like, okay, it's been beautiful, it's been fantastic.
But the next thing.
But let's see what else is there.
Yeah, because you see, sometimes the artists can get, or the actors can get typecast if they stay somewhere too long. And you see even those that are in programs like EastEnders, they do it for a while and then they leave. And then you see other actors that are in certain soaps that have been there forever, and you realize, well, now they can't go anywhere else. Because there'll always be that character number one, and it's so yeah, sometimes it's right for the actor to say, well, I've got as much from this as I can. I've given as much to this as I can, and time to move on.
Yeah.
So tell me about the academy. How did that come about?
It's something that I started from 2006, actually. I had a company called G Up, which stood for Gathering Unleashed Potentials, and it's basically what we're talking about. It's as I said, born and grown in Brixton, and I didn't see a lot of the black youths places for them to kind of express themselves. I didn't see anything like that around.
Yeah.
And so I decided, and I know how it was when I was younger, and I so desperately wanted to go to drama school when I was younger, and I wasn't able to go. So that's why I decided that I'm gonna start something, and I did. I just started something. We started at the Bricks in Brixton underground. The little
under the church,
under
the crypt.
the crypt. We used to run classes there. I ran classes at Telegraph Hill and just all about the place. And then we were able to find a nice space in the Lost Theatre. So we was at the Lost Theatre for about 9 months.
Right.
There I wrote a couple of plays. We wrote Romeo and Juliet the remix, which was a hip hop version of Romeo and Juliet. We had 2 sold out shows.
Well, I mean, you always see different modern takes on classics.
Of course.
Romeo Must Die is a modern take on Romeo and Juliet.
Of
so
course,
you just have to have the courage to do it.
Of course, yeah. So it's been building and building and building. Obviously, as I got busy, it started to take a little bit of but starting in December last year, I started to make things, try to make things happen again. Just trying to put things in place so we can start running again. And then the lockdown came, and then it
messed up everything.
No, it didn't.
No,
the lockdown was a blessing, because actually it gave us time to really focus and hone in to what we wanted to do and how we can and build the foundation that we wanted to build and get everything put together. So it just allowed us to focus, and it's allowed me to stop. To just
for
stop.
a minute, because I was going to say, and it slipped me, but when you were in that grueling schedule for Tina, the one day that you had off, it must have really been about self-care.
Absolutely.
And we are kind of indoctrinated to think that self-care is selfish, which it isn't. Self-care is important.
Self-care is the only way, man. It's self-focused.
Yeah,
when I left Tina, the month that I left Tina, I went to India, and I spent 3 months in India, which was 3 divine months.
Yes, I saw that when you were traveling.
Yeah, I went to Rishikesh. I went all over, actually.
But I'll tell you, that was when I caught hold of you, because I thought, everything that you posted seemed uplifting, and everything that you posted was encouraging and inspirational. And I'm thinking, but I can see in her face that she's had trials like everybody else. And those are the people that you need to draw to you. The people who don't sit and mope and moan about trials. The ones who say, well, listen, what we have to do is do this and get through it and find solutions, not sit down and moan,
Absolutely.
And that's what I thought. I need to speak to this woman in more depth.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's something.
And then I saw you in the circle of my girls with Martina and Reiki and Annie. I was like, definitely have to get her in.
That's the thing, though. Surround yourself by great people, man. Surround yourself.
Some of us don't realize
like-minded people.
Some of us don't realize that until it's way too late, sadly. But there's much truth in show me your friends, I tell you who you are.
Absolutely.
Company.
Absolutely. There comes a time where you have to drop certain vibrations. You have to do it. You have to do it. You just have to do it if you want to move forward. If you want to move forward in life and have the right energy around you, you need to drop negative energy.
Energy that's draining you. I call them.
And don't feel sorry about it neither. When you don't look back on it and feel sorry or feel
guilt
don't
has
feel
no
way.
place. Guilt has no place. But I call them energy vampires.
Yes, absolutely.
They suck the energy out. From the minute you clap eyes on them, you feel drained.
And it's not necessarily their fault. I'm sure I've been an energy vampire many times in my life. You understand
like now, I'm exhausted.
You get me? You know I'm saying? But there comes a time where, trust me, sometimes I to get bored of my own self. I'm like, what? Really? Do you know what I mean? When you get to that point, it forces you to really look within and say, okay, what's going on here? Right?
True.
Because it's only what's happening inside that you can have control of. You can't have control
anything
of
externally or
anybody
anyone
else.
You
can't. So,
but I mean, I think it's also about, as you say, you have to look at yourself and say, well, even with the challenges, what do I bring to the table when I come? And you have to make the conscious decision and choice to say, well, I am going to be that person that when you see me come in a room, you actually smile. You don't go running to hide behind a chair or a cupboard saying, oh God, he's turned up. Do you know what I mean? But you have to make the conscious decision to be that person, or the person that comes in and is a black cloud on the room every time that people just roll their eyes and go, oh God, he's here.
I just think it's just about standing in your truth, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily for me. It's not about whether I'm shining or whether, I'm putting a sparkle or dulling your shine or whatever. It's nothing about that. It's about just standing in my truth. Be wherever I am and whatever I'm doing is just being truthful to whatever situation occurs. Do you know what I mean? Because if I'm feeling, if I'm truthful and I'm coming from the place of truth, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hide from. There's nothing to feel guilty about. And there's nothing to really
because this is what it is.
Because this is it.
What it is.
This is all it is. So it's about remaining present. It's being present and being truthful. And once you are present, you're standing in your truth, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's lovely to talk to you because, it's been long overdue. I've been trying to nail this lady down for a while.
It's true.
And like, I'm coming for you. And she's like, yeah, I know you're coming, but we got to sort it out. I know you're coming. So I'm really glad.
As my mother says, nothing ever come before the time.
Absolutely indeed.
Before the time.
Stay locked to the Beat 103.6 FM. More with this lady after the break. Johnny Nash there with Stir It Up. We've got another one coming up from him later on in the show. Okay, so we're back with this lovely lady here. Back with this lovely lady, Miss Satara. So what's on the cards for you now from here? I don't mean from leaving the studio. I mean from career-wise.
Yes, because I'm not going to a party after I leave the studio.
Okay, you're not going to a party?
No, I'm not going to a party.
No.
I'm going to a social distance
London on a
meal.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So
okay.
no parties.
Right.
Just to clear that up.
Yeah.
Yes, great things happening. I'm, in the middle of writing my play. It's gonna be like a one-woman show, and
there was me gonna ask for a part in this show. And then she says,
before you ask for your part, it's me you wanna play the part. But it's actually, I say it's a one-woman show, but it's got many characters, and it's and the beautiful, amazing Martina Laird is also an associate director on it at the moment.
Yeah.
So we've been workshopping it for quite a few months since last year, and she's got this amazing mind, and she's been doing a lot of researching. We've been and I'm working also with the Hackney Showroom in conjunction with the Hackney Showroom, so they're going to be producing it.
Okay.
So that's very exciting. It's called The Legends of Them, and it deals with Nanny of the Maroons, it deals with my mum, and it deals with my sister Cherry Gross, and it's their three stories combined with mine.
So your mother and
mother.
Cherry Gross, now she's the lady that was shot in Brixton and paralyzed.
That's my sister.
Back in the 80s. Right,
That's my older sister.
Right.
So we got that story, and we've got Nanny of the Maroons, because we are of the Maroon people. My mum was born in Maroon Town, and so we're kind of descendants of that. So it's those stories, and it's about these three women being a blueprint of my life, basically. way.
Okay.
And then my little story coming intertwining in there. So that's kind of
fantastic
outline of what it is. So we're working on that.
And that's looking to come out when? Because it's still in the process of. Have you put a time frame on it?
Well, it would have been coming out February 2021, but we have to see how things are going up to then. There's also a TV company that's interested in it, and we've been talking to that wants to make it into a kind of like a 4-part series. So it's all very exciting, and we've got more courses coming up for Sutara Academy. You know, we've got we're running a 10-week course now. And then we have another one starting in January. So if anyone is up for doing a drama-based course with a holistic approach, because we come from that part of truth, the place of truth.
Right.
Go on to sutara.org.uk. That's SUTARA.org.uk.
Say it again.
Sutara.org.uk.
And Sutara is spelled SUTARA.org.uk. Brilliant.
So some people know me as Lorna G, some people know me as Lorna Gayle, some people know me as Sutara Ma. Sutara Ma is a beautiful name that I got from my guru when I went to India, and it means
so Sutara Ma is recently acquired, shall we say?
I received it in 2011, so it's like that's my spiritual name, and that's the name that I now go by. I've now got it in Spotlight. I've now so I love that name. I want to walk in that name more because it means more to me than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes me feel alive.
Brilliant.
So,
we need more of that in our life. Things that make us feel alive and not feel drained and dragged down and fed up.
And shedding. Shedding. When all the shedding is shedded, and what's left?
Yeah.
What's left is just what is.
The nice newness.
Isn't it?
The nice
and
newness.
It feels beautiful, and then that's the way one wants to walk in that way. Why would you want anything
to walk any other way? Absolutely. Well, I knew there was a reason why I had to have this conversation with you. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I had and have got as much from it as I have. Because pretty special lady. And we all wish you the best with your future career. And thank you for taking time to speak with us here at The Beat. We're very grateful and appreciative. Because we know she's a busy girl going to her social distance lunch. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me, Barrie.
It's been a pleasure.
And, you never give up on me.
I didn't give up on you.
And look, I'm here. And we're here having such a beautiful conversation. It's been really, really lovely talking to you. Very nice, very easy, and very light.
Just how I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Old friends having a chat. Even though we're not old friends, but spiritually there's something like there.
That.
Yes, that's it.
We are all
feel comfortable and relaxed. Lovely to see you. Lovely to talk with you. And as I say again, we wish you all the best with your career. And thank you for coming to talk with us at The Beat.
Thank you.
103.6 FM.